moving too quickly through something, through some kind of process, or just through your daily activities is a trauma response, but it is also kind of a sign that you're not taking it seriously. And that's not at all like a conscious thing. It's not that you don't want to take things seriously. It's that there's a pain center that's active in your subconscious right now that is causing a kind of avoidance or coping mechanism that is creating like movement that is too swift, but also I think as a byproduct not taking an element of your work or and like an element of your life, not taking that seriously, right? So for some of you, I feel like this is regarding a family thing, but for others of you, this is, something that you are trying to create, your business, your schooling, whatever it is. There's something here that like you're moving too quickly through it, and it's coming through as something that you need to take more seriously. And perhaps some of you are even kind of 111 as I look down. Perhaps some of you are even kind of making light of or kind of laughing at your own pain in certain situations as a coping mechanism. So let's do the cross. This is the second reading that I have done with the Celtic cross where the tower is in the place of ultimate outcome and there is a plane shaking the walls of my home right now. Okay. Wow. So you're ready to go and you're very decisive about being ready to go. You're trying to command your energy in a way that is productive because you can feel the overwhelm, like the energetic overwhelm of the near future. You are very focused on meaning what's coming in for you, right? Like you intuitively can feel what's coming in. So I think that you're adjusting yourself consciously or not into a place where you are more decisive in your actions and setting up, you're just a little sharper here, right? You're showing up as the Queen of Swords. So you're kind of in this place where you're like, I need to, yeah, right? Because then what's crossing you is the Three of Wands. So it's like you're closing something out. You don't know what exactly that thing is, right? I think that you understand to a degree that you have to take your time, and that's kind of what is throttling you a little bit. Meaning like the things that you can do, you're doing too quickly or you're bypassing altogether. This is someone who I think that you're chipping away at something. You're chipping away at something and you're trying to make progress in one area of your life, but really unsure of how to do so. So instead of continuing to chip away at it, maybe what we're doing, because what's crowning you is the Hanged Man and what's beneath you is the World. So maybe what we're doing is trying to find a way to really close out that old cycle and move into a new one. But because we know that we need to take our time, and because we know that there's a cycle closing, maybe there's some bypassing of the work that's taking place. This is really kind of tricky energy here. It's really hard to pin down. At the bottom of the deck, at the top of the deck is the Two of Wands, which is interesting. And then because the Three of Wands is what's crossing you, at the bottom of the deck, we have Knight of Pentacles, Death, Strength, and the Page of Swords. Let's see if I can get a little bit more insight. I'm just going to let God pull just as to what it is that you're dealing with. Okay, the Empress, the Ace of Swords, and the Ten of Swords coming out in on its face here with that Seven of Pentacles here. Five of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. Okay. So yeah, we're done. We are moving into a new chapter. And you're just kind of hoping that it is all kept together in a way that is, kind of cohesive, but you meaning palatable for the people around you, right? Like you don't want, this is a message that came out recently for a reading where it's like you just kind of don't want any like major disruptions taking place. You don't want anyone to like get hurt. You don't want it to affect anyone's like life or relationships that you have. You just kind of want things to be smooth. In that tower, I'm hearing that tower will fall in a way that is smooth. Can I get just a little bit more about what this collective is dealing with? Just a little bit more. Whatever it is, yeah, the Chariot and the Two of Swords. Yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune, oh, maybe that's not the Wheel of Fortune. It's the Knight of Wands, but then we have the Six of Wands too. So listen, what is very clear to me here is that, you know, the Tower, especially with it having, with it being in the place of ultimate outcome for the second time, I think it was the last Celtic cross that I did for you guys. It's like accepting, you know, you may have reached a level of acceptance that like that tower is going to fall, and you're just kind of praying that it's not really, really destructive. Whatever the reason why that tower is falling is because you are calling in a time of success that is not fleeting, right? I have the Sun in your recent past with the Seven of Cups in your near future. Like this time that you're moving into is a much better kind of a foundation to build that success on, which is exactly why that tower needs to fall in the first place. I genuinely do not feel like it's one of those towers, let's get a little bit of clarity on it, but I genuinely do not feel like it's one of those towers that's going to be like massive and you need to be concerned about it, right? Or you need to be, I mean, you never need to be anxious, but it's not something that like I would be shaking in my boots over. I think it's going to be pretty chill. Let's get clarity on the tower, please. What more can we know about that? Nine of Wands in reverse. Yeah, so there's some burnout there. Ten of Pentacles, and there's that Wheel of Fortune, King of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. This, you know what this is? This is you no longer getting burnt out from what you are providing to other people, but rather receiving what it is that you need so that you can be more effective in your actions, right? So all of this kind of like uncertainty and inaction, and it's almost like you're creating systems that are much more effective for like the sustainable creation of the next tower, right? So and that's why this tower, it feels like a really, really big one, right? And so when like, I'm thinking about like if a huge tree is falling, right? One that like, this is a tower that you've been running off of for a long time. This is a mindset. This is a way of living. This is a model that you've been given. And like when a giant tree falls in the forest, you don't necessarily hear it hitting the ground right away. It's kind of silent, right? Like most of the process of that tree falling over is silent. That's how big this tower is. So it's not going to be one of those things that's like, oh, it made a huge mess. I don't think so at all. I think that the process of it falling, like it's going to be incredibly refreshing. I'm seeing like a new view of a horizon. So like if you're looking out, like let's say we're looking at that forest, right? If you're looking out at that forest, like that one tree was old and ugly and it was dying and it was huge and heavy, and then once it finally fell, now you've got this like, you've got a much wider view of the horizon. Does that make sense? Like there's so much more you can see now. And so this has to do with services that are given and taken, things that are done for you. Like you're no longer kind of, and I did notice that the Queen of Pentacles was at the bottom before I started shuffling for clarity on the tower. So it's like, what is kind of offered to you as service to keep you in this productive space so you can kind of work. It's basically taking care of yourself, your own personal growth, right? Or your own personal projects or whatever it is. That's increasing because you're moving from this state that is Empress energy. You're moving from this place of conviction and certainty and being well watered, and because you've planted those seeds, Yeah, the seeds that happen, it's kind of like a karmic debt was built up where you didn't take care of yourself on behalf of other people because you wanted to sustain relationships or whatever, and now that's no longer happening. So yeah, that tower is going to fall and new exchanges and bonds are going to be made. I'm out of time, but yeah, this is good. Don't stress